Good morning, everyone. Glenn Calloway from the basement, back with another video. This has turned into Ranking Week, which is I'm going to call it. It's kind of like Shark Week. I've ranked my 14 favorite live albums on Monday. I ranked my 17 favorite prog rock albums on Tuesday. And today I'm going to rank my 13 favorite guitarists. Now, you're going to notice recognize some noticeable names missing from this list. And you're probably all going to put yours down, and I bet you most of them will have those names on there. But I don't. They have gradually been pushed out. So let's get started. Number 13. I just love this man's playing, and I think Ian Anderson made a big mistake not continuing the relationship with Martin Barre. I think he was a major contributor in Jethro Tull's success and the sound. Aqualung would be my favorite album of his. I love his tone. I just love thing. He also has a bunch of solo stuff out and tours the Martin Barre Band, which is really good if you get a chance to see them. Away with Words, this is an instrumental album with a bunch of Tull stuff on it. And Martin Barre Back to Steel, which has some Tull songs mixed in with some newer originals and stuff. But if you haven't checked any of Martin Barre's solo stuff out, check it out. But Martin Barre, definitely. Number 12, the great Johnny Winter. I love Johnny Winter. I've seen Johnny Winter a couple times back in the day, and just fantastic musician. What a great guitar player. And this guy just could play the blues. Progressive Blues Experiment is one of the great guitar albums of all time. If you've never heard this album, check it out. Fantastic. This is a reissue on yellow vinyl. Okay, number 11, the great Robert Fripp. I mean, he's just incredible. He's so unique. And the stuff he plays is so freaking intense and difficult. It's really, really at another level. And I don't know if people appreciate it when they're listening to Crimson. Some of the stuff that he does is just almost impossible to play. And this is a solo album that Robert did called Exposure, which is absolutely outstanding. And I've already talked about all the Crimson stuff over the last few days, so we're not going there. Next on my list, Dickie Betts. Dickie Betts from the Allman Brothers. I just love his playing. It's just so fluid. You can tell when Dickie plays the guitar. It's just, you can tell it's him. And he just has this fluid way of playing that's really, really sweet. And he can play anything. And when you think when Dwayne passed away, the challenge Dickie had to be able to capture Dwayne's sound and his own sound and become just the only guitar player in that band. I mean, that band would not have gone on without Dickie Betts' contribution after Dwayne died. Interesting album under the name Richard Betts. Dickie released this album called Highway Call, which is kind of a country album, and it's got people like Vassar Clements on it. There's one song called Handpicked on here that's about 10 minutes long of just jamming. It's really cool. But more, like I said, more of a country album. But next. So next, if you're going to pick Dickie Betts, you got to pick Duane Allman. I mean, at one time, Duane Allman was probably my number 2 guy. Maybe my number 1 guy. And I still, high regard, 27 years old, I think, when he died tragically in a motorcycle accident. Boy, where he would have went, who knows, because he was incredible. I mean, he was incorporating jazz and blues and soul and R&B and rock. I mean, he was a genius of a guitar player. The Allman Brothers, Duane Allman. Next, here's a name that should make everybody's list. It's probably higher on most lists, but man, Jimi Hendrix. That's my favorite Hendrix album, Electric Ladyland. There's nothing Jimmy couldn't do. Just an incredible, incredible guitar player. The live album Band of Gypsies, which came out, which he recorded in New Year's Eve 1969, and released 1970 after he passed, I think. Maybe, no, it might have come out before he passed away. But great stuff. I mean, Jimmy's just held in such high regard. Next, Derek Trucks. Derek Trucks with the Tedeschi Trucks Band, with the Allman Brothers, with his own band, the Derek Trucks Band. What a fantastic, fantastic musician this guy is. I pulled this album. This is the Tedeschi Trucks Band doing Layla, revisited live at Locken with Trey Anastasia as a special guest. I mean, just ripping guitar through this. I like this better than the Derek and the Dominoes Layla. So I think, and that's one of the great albums of all time. Derek Trucks, fantastic. Tedeschi Trucks, the best live band going right now, if you're looking for live shows. Next, Mr. Zappa. Frank Zappa, just a great guitar player. I'll throw Hot Rats 2, Waka Wazoo out there at you. I'll throw Hot Rats out there, which probably has Frank's best guitar solo, Willie the Pimp, on it. So Zappa's just, I love listening to him play a guitar. Next, the band I'm crazy about right now. This guy could be number one right now, man. I'm telling you, I'm just so... Michael Hauser from Widespread Panic. Bunch of live stuff. There's all kinds of these live archive stuff. Band started up in like the late 80s. The interesting thing is that when he was in college, he suffered from panic attacks, and he was nicknamed by his buddies Panic. And that became part of the name of the band, because at one time I think someone asked him a question about something about his panic attacks, how they going, and he said, "Oh man, they're widespread." And then it came Widespread Panic. Perfect. That's how they got the name of the band. Pretty cool. Anyway, Michael was so busy with all the stuff he had around him and his pedals and everything like that, it was easier for him to sit down. So he started to sit down at the shows and kind of became famous for the image of him sitting there the way he sat, playing his guitar, playing all these amazing leads. And he sadly passed away in 2002 of pancreatic cancer. Like, just sucks. He played right up until the end. Bless his soul. Great guitar player. And there's a silhouette, like a sticker or something you can buy, or something that has a silhouette of him sitting the way he used to sit at the guitar. It's on the chair. It's kind of cool. Anyway, Michael Hauser. Next, Steve Hackett. I think Spectral Mornings was my introduction to Steve Hackett. And the song Spectral Mornings is just enough that you go, wow, this guy's a special guitar player. And I slowly started picking up more of his solo stuff as I would see it in the used bins, and started getting interested in these live sets. This one is Selling England by the Pound and Spectral Mornings live at the Hammersmith. Once I started listening to him doing the old Genesis songs, it got me interested in listening to the Genesis albums. Now I've become a big Genesis fan, but Steve Hackett, I think he's an incredible guitar player. I saw him last year at Massey Hall, and would definitely, if he comes back, I'm going. But there's Foxtrot, again, Spectral Mornings, just an amazing guitar player. How many we got left? 1, 2, top 3 guitar players. Number 3 on my list, Billy Strings. Yes, Billy Strings, the greatest guitar player on the planet right now. This guy can play anything, play with anyone, and he's just incredible. This live album, I'm telling you, you gotta listen to it, man. If you like great guitar playing, this guy's incredible. He's taken bluegrass music and added a real rock mentality to it in a way, and he's drawing crowds, man. This guy is filling 20,000 seat stadiums, selling out everywhere, playing with everyone. I just saw a video of him playing with Derek Trucks. Just incredible guitar player. Incredible. That's his newest album. Fantastic. If I was doing my albums of the year again, this would be number 1. Highway Prayer for 2024. Highway Prayer. Fantastic. Number 2. One of my heroes. One of the greatest human beings who ever lived. Jerry Garcia. Here's Jerry's first solo album. Jerry's just not Grateful Dead. I mean, the Jerry Garcia Band, Garcia Grisman. This is his first solo album, which is fantastic. He came from a bluegrass background and played banjo, but then he's done these acoustic albums, which are fantastic. And of course, the Grateful Dead. I mean, you just listen to Europe '72. Jerry's just, their band's so tight. Jerry Garcia, number 2. Number 1 in my heart, number 2 on the guitar list. And number 1 for me is Ry Cooder. Ry Cooder is just so, what's the word? He can do everything, and he does everything, and he's taken me down so many musical paths, which I appreciate, because that's what music's all about for me. Is I want growth. I want to hear different things, and I just don't want to always be in the rock genre. Play me some world music, play me that, and there's an album playing with a African musician. There's albums with him playing with Cuban musicians, with South African musicians, playing blues music at home, old folk music, whatever. Ry's just, and he plays everything well, and he's been so influential to the Rolling Stones, and oh man, just so many people. Ry is just the greatest. And that's it. 13 my favorite guitar players. Let's see yours, and thanks for watching.